We'll start with three
Jai
times.
Baba.
Jai Baba, everybody. Jai Baba.
Jai Baba.
So we'll start with three times
Jai
Avtar Mere Baba Ki Jai. So everybody can
Yes.
unmute for that. Then we'll
Yes,
say three times Avtar Mere Baba Ki Jai. And then after that, over to Pratap Uncle. So everybody can unmute here and we'll say Avtar Mere Baba Ki Jai. Avtar Mere
Baba
Ki
Jai.
Jai.
Avtar
Mere Baba
Ki
Jai.
Baba.
Avtar Mere Baba Jai.
Ki Jai.
Thank you so much, Pratap Uncle, for joining. And over to you from here. Everybody else can mute themselves. So, yes.
So I should start. Can you hear me?
Yes, over to you. It's all yours. You can start.
Yes. In fact, this session was to be last Friday, but because of the young and adult Sahumar, which was full of programs right from the morning till late in the night, I requested the management of this group that it should be postponed to the next week, that means today. And they have obliged me by postponing it to today. Now, last time when I was to take this session, our dear friend Meherchand Nuri, who keeps the records of so many events in Baba's contact, he reminded me of Erech's passing away to Baba. And he also suggested that I should talk something about my contact with Erech. And so today I'll be devoted the entire time to talking about Erech. Now our great Ganesh has also another suggestion for me. What he said last time, I mean just before, couple of days before, that I should be prepared to take these sessions every week, every week on Fridays. And I have agreed to that also. So now whatever portions which I wish to cover today, I will talk about that today. And then if something is remaining to be said about Erech, that I will take after 1 week, that is next Friday. I think that should not you should not mind for that. When the topic comes to Erech, many of practically all Baba lovers have enough knowledge about Erech, his being with Baba, his contact with Baba, his meeting with Baba, his serving Baba, everything people know about him. And after Baba dropped his body, both Mani and Erech, they used to speak to people about their time with Baba, about new life and all that past days of their lives with Baba. And especially Westerners, and also some of the people from the East, from India, whenever they go to Meraza, they will gather around Erech and Mani, and Mani sitting on the chairs, Erech will be having a seat just near the big window, and both will share talking about their past lives with Mer Baba. And it used to be very, very, very interesting sessions. And I'm really thankful to the Westerners who have taken care to record all those talks. There is a treasure of treasure of memories about these both these money and Peerage. And when they talk about their own memories, that includes the memories of other people also. So they were very interesting sessions. Now, as many of people know that on 2nd December in 1956, when Baba met with an accident at Urtare, at the village Urtare in Satara district in Maharashtra, we visit that place. We pay our respects to the spot where Baba had made that accident. But during that time, our Dr. Vasu, who is staying in Panjugani, every time we takes up to the place where Erach had first time met Baba. In fact, I cannot say it as a first time because when Erach's family was living in Nagpur, and Erach was a school going boy, Baba used to often visit their house. And in those days, this is what Erach has told me, that in those days, Erach used to avoid meeting their Baba. He was very much interested in playing hockey. And if he comes to know that Meher Baba is sitting inside, he will escape from the back door and go for playing hockey. That used to be the time. And when Baba was in Panjugani, the name of the bungalow is Shalimar. And when Baba was there, one day, the family in Nagpur, they received a telegram from Meher Baba. Baba wants Erach to see him, to come to Panjugani and see him. In the beginning, Erach avoided, rather to say postponed, making excuses for some work to be completed, and then he just set aside for a little time that going to Baba. But then Erach's mother was very loving Meher Baba, loving with her heart, and she scolded Erach, "Don't you have any importance about Baba's telegram? Baba wants you to be there, and you are just neglecting, or you are just postponing that." And Erach complained that I have got so much of work, this work, that work, and that unless I complete that, I cannot go. Some excuses like that. And then she warned him that Meher Baba's call is the first priority for you. Remember this thing in your life. You have to attend to Meher Baba first. And that is how he was made to visit Panjugani. Erach came there, and Baba asked, that is all reported in the books. Why I am reporting? I am repeating here. There is a sequence of events, and for that matter, I may repeat whatever is given in the books also. But then that has got a particular, in a different context. I will be repeating those things. So the Erach comes there, and Erach say, Baba puts paper in that. Will you join me? And very surprisingly, at that age, without any thought, Erach just gives an answer that by your grace, everything is possible. When Baba asked him whether it will be possible for you to join me, Erach is prompted from inside to say, I do not know whether he consciously said it, but that words came out of his mouth that by your grace, everything is possible. This was not enough. There was another demand from Meher Baba that I want all your family to join, whether it will be possible. There also it give the same answer. With your grace, everything is possible. And then Baba took a promise from him. It is a very strange example, very rare example, that Baba asking a complete family to join him. And Baba wanted Erech. That compels me to think that in the hierarchy of that spiritual hierarchy, when the avatar is to take advent, where avatar is to take human form and come on the earth, there is a mode for some personalities, for people to work with him, for the cause of avatar. When avatar has his mission to be completed on the earth, some people are required, and perhaps the spiritual hierarchy must have made a mold of such people that they are supposed to, when they are supposed to come in contact with that avatar and work for him. So when we study Erech's life and that answer which he gave, it makes me feel that this destiny of his life was decided there by the hierarchy of spiritual hierarchy. And believe that family also very strangely, it is a very strange incident that family also agreed to join Baba, including the father who was still in service. It's a spiritual surprise, in fact. And to give you a parallel example, why I say that these are the modes made in the hierarchy, in the spiritual hierarchy. Why I say so? There are other examples also. Example of Adiki Rani. Adiki Rani is also a similar case. These people, Baba wanted them to join him. It is Baba's offer for them that you have, or rather to say, Baba's wish that they have to join Baba. And accordingly, they have come to serve Meher Baba. There is also Bhav. In the case of Bhav also, the whole responsibility when Baba wanted Bhav to come to him, in fact, Bhav wanted to live with Baba. There is a little difference in this. Here, in the case of Adi and Erech, it's Baba who wanted them to join. There, Bhav expressed his wish that he wants to join Baba. And Baba accepted that offer and he accepted the response for the whole family with Bhav's wife and 2 children. So these are the rare examples in the case of Vishnu Master. Baba, when Vishnu Master's mother complains about a bad company of Vishnu Master, Baba slaps him and says that from today I am your father. That means he has accepted Vishnu Master as his son. In turn, I could say that he was also made a mold from that, made by that hierarchy for the cause of avatar. It's a very interesting examples before us. When we come to Erech, in my early age, see, I came in Baba's contact round about in 1949, in the beginning of 1949 through 1949. I was attending Baba programs and knowing about many people, especially the people who were before us, that is Dr. Ghani or Beli Irani or Khak Sahib. These people were visiting us very often. But we could not meet Erich until the time on 16th of October 1950, Baba had for a few hours, Baba had come back to his old life and met his many people of the old life and included new ones like us. So that time I came to know about Erich, and I had no personal contact with Erich. That personal contact started only after Baba came to stay in Pune, either in Botanical Gardens or in Guru Prasad. During that time, I came very close to Erich. In fact, in those days, as a young boy, I very much used to imagine myself in the role of Erich. This is you may find it very strange, but I was very seriously feeling that I should serve Baba. I should have opportunity to serve Baba as Erich is serving Baba so closely. In the course of time, when I studied the lives of all these people, especially Erich, then I was convinced that this could not have been a life for me. It was really impossible for me to undergo that sort of a life which Erich has undergone. It was very hard life with Mer Baba, very hard life. And once in Mehrabad, there was a talk about, they were discussing, Dr. Ghani was there. And as we know that there always used to be some sort of a sign, blinking eyes and something like that in between Baba and Dr. Ghani. And both used to understand what they want to say. Once it so happened that there was a discussion about someone, about some persons who are very much interested in a hard life. There was a couplet, Urdu couplet, wherein this point was explained that if there are certain persons who are very accustomed, they like hard life. It is their hobby that they like hard life. And if they don't get it, they will create it. And when this couplet was being discussed therein, Baba turns to Dr. Ghani and asks him, have you understood what they want to say? How have you understood what the poet wants to say, what the Shair wants to say? Have you understood its point? And Ghani says, yes, Baba. Tell me what is that? And Ghani utters the word Erich. As soon as he just utters that word, Baba put his finger on his lips. Don't talk much anything more now, because Baba was convinced that what the meaning is to be conveyed to that. That was the Ghani was pointed at Erich to be an example for that. So Erich had that sort of a inclination to lead a hard life. And when I studied about this point, I was convinced that this could not have been a life for me, because I would have just unable to lead such a hard life. In those days, at times, Baba, in the early days, at times Baba used to stay in Botanical Gardens in the quarter of Dadi Kerawala. And we were so very mad after learning about Meher Baba and mad after the subject of Meher Baba. Wherever we hear something, we'll go and discuss that and like to hear about Baba's stories. Now, where we stayed and that botanical garden, that distance is quite far off. Ganesh knows about it. That is far off from our camp area. We were staying in camp area. Madhusudan and people were staying in city. But then, even then, it was on the outskirts of Pune city. And in the night time, in the say about after 8 o'clock or so, we used to go on bicycle, about 3-4 people, myself, Madhusudan, then Narayan Bandeju and Narendra Thadi. Some of us, young group, we used to go there and talk with Erich. That time, Erich had told us a beautiful story about Upasni Maharaj. He said that Baba had entrusted the responsibility of running the, Upasni Maharaj had entrusted the responsibility of taking care of that ashram on one of his disciples. His name is, I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the name, but he had asked that person to look after this ashram. And then Upasni Maharaj to go to his native village. The name of that village, Satana. Then when he intended to go to that Satana, intended to visit that Satana, he asked that person, one who was one with the responsibility looking after the ashram after Upasni Maharaj. After he adopts the body, that person is to look after that ashram. So when he was going to Satana, he asked, I think it was Ishwata Modi or some name, just forget. So he asked his disciple that to accompany him to Satana, and he avoided. He avoided saying that, Maharaj, you have entrusted the responsibility on me. Now, leaving that responsibility, how can I come with you? And Upasni Maharaj didn't say anything, and he went there all alone. Perhaps with some other people, he went to Satana. And immediately thereafter, Upasni Maharaj dropped his body. Now, we had a question to Erich. Why Upasni Maharaj has not told that person, that his disciple, that he is going to drop his body? Why he has not disclosed that point? Had he disclosed that point, that man would have gone along with Upasni Maharaj. Erich gave a beautiful answer. He said that is his krupa, that is the grace of Upasni Maharaj, that he did not tell. He avoided to tell or disclose that he will be dropping his body. We said, how you say that it is his krupa? He has avoided to tell. Had he told him, he would have gladly accompanied him. And how you say that it is his blessing, his krupa? And Erich gave a beautiful expression on that. He said that even after telling, if that man would have been tempted to remain back, that would have been more grave offense on his part, a more grave fault in his part, even knowing that he has not gone with Upasni Maharaj. That would have been a great fault on his part. To avoid from committing that fault, Upasni Maharaj did not tell him that he will drop his body immediately. So it was his grace. he had saved him from committing a more grave fault. A beautiful example. And such talks we used to have with Iraj whenever we meet him. But more close I came in Iraj's contact was in Guru Prasad days. In fact, Iraj had a specific corner for his a little bit of an end of a veranda with he used to sit in a very corner, covering, making him a room like, and then all that books and files and everything he used to keep there. And whenever he is from Baba, he'll be sitting there. At times I used to go there and sit. There was a bench. I used to sit on a bench and I used to talk with Iraj. He always used to talk on subject, just inquire about myself, my family, and all that. As we have seen throughout these years, and you people also those who have seen marriage, or those who have know little bit of marriage, Iraj's life was very simple living person, very, very simple living person. His dress, the cloth that we used to call it a Malaysian cloth. I do not know, but in our young age also we knew that cloth. It was a very famous cloth those days, that dark bluish grey cloth, a typical type, and perhaps it must have been very cheap cloth. It used to be cheap cloth those days, and that was a very favorite dress of Iraj. He used to wear it very often. He used to wear a simple cap, and only on some occasions, whenever he is traveling with Baba in European countries or in US or in Australia, during that time only he will wear a short pant and coat and tie and all that. Otherwise, his living was very, very, very simple living. Once he had told me a story that they used to get, from outside we feel that these people must be living a very luxurious life. But Iraj had told me that we used to get, those days there used to be bar soap, that is called bar soap. It is a long square shaped material soap. It has to cut in pieces and then used for washing clothes. That soap was made for washing clothes. It was very famous, a bar soap. Even, in fact, one of the names of one of Baba's Mandali was bar soap. You know why that bar soap was name given to him? Because it so happened that once a piece of that bar soap was kept just when people were taking food, just after food, for washing their hands, and that person felt that this is something like cheese. He put it in the mouth by mistake, by misunderstanding. He thought that it is something like cheese, a piece of cheese, and he put it in the mouth, and people noticed about it, and thereafter his name was given as bar soap. So the bar soap was a soap made for washing clothes. And Iraj said that there was a quota given to everybody, and the supplier was one who distributes that was Aga Bedul. So whatever pieces they used to give, they were not enough. At times they will take wash with that soap only. Such was economical life they were leading. And Erich had told me once that Dr. Ginde, a very great man, very great world famous doctor, a neurologist, neurosurgeon, he had come to Mera Azadon Baba's call. And while before going to Baba's Bandali Hall, he wanted to go to toilet for passing urine. And he asked Erich about it. Erich showed him the lavatory, and then he went there and he came out and he asked for soap. Now Erich said that I didn't have a soap for washing hands. So I gave him the same bar soap for washing his hands. But that man was unmindful of it, that he rubbed his hands, both the hands, with that soap and made a good lather of it. And while doing so, he was explained to Erich that always after you go for passing urine or anything, you have to wash your hands, because there is always a possibility of bacteria catching your body. So such a simple life they were living in Mer Baba. And Baba was such a, they were leading such a life that they have to be all the time alert about Mer Baba. Because at any time Baba may require them, and they have to be every time ready to serve Baba, to attend to Baba. Once it so happened that it was a time when Baba was in Guru Prasad, and he was in a very strict seclusion. I was serving in Mumbai then, but every weekend I used to come to Pune, because Baba would be there in Guru Prasad. I may be able to see him or not, but then I would be there in Pune. One such time, my whole family was there. They were staying with Mr. Thade family. In fact, they considered me as one of the very close members of that family, a part of their family. And my wife and my daughter, they were kept there. During that stay, I went to Erich. In fact, I never intended to go to Baba. I had some work with Erich. Baba was sitting inside, and Erich was for some time in that corner. I went to him and then put a small proposal before him. I told him that Erich, on 5th of June, it's the birthday of my first child, a girl. And I wish to, now I don't expect to see Baba. We don't want to disturb Baba in any way. Only one thought that came to my mind is that I should send food on that particular occasion. I should send food for all the Mandali people and Baba and all the Mandali people staying with Baba. Now, Erich is a person who could have taken that authority to say yes or no, right? Without asking Baba, he could have said so. But that is one of the very notable quality in Erich. In spite of his very closeness with Baba, he never take an authority to say yes or no to anyone for anything, for any request. He will always ask Baba about it. That was a very special quality in Eraj. In spite of his very closeness with Baba. So he told me that I will ask Baba. If Baba agrees to it, then I will tell you. Let's see whether he agrees. And I told Eraj, Eraj, I am telling you very specifically that even a tinge of displeasure on Baba's face, please don't insist. I won't insist for that program. I'll take my proposal back. I won't feel about it. There should not be any displeasure on Baba's face. If gladly, willingly Baba agrees to it, then only I will proceed further. And Eraj went inside. He asked Baba and came out and told me that Baba has agreed to your proposal. I was so very happy. And I again asked Baba whether Baba gave this permission willingly. And Eraj assured me that no, Baba has given it very willingly. I told Eraj that because of my close relationship with you people, I don't want to take any undue privilege. And Eraj said to me that I know that you never take any undue privilege. But since Baba has agreed now, you can proceed with the program. And then I went home and told at that family, the Thade family and my wife, everybody was employed for the purpose of cooking the food for Baba. And some items, non-vegetarian items, and also some other items were prepared by us and sent. And the whole mandali had I was told that they had a very good feast. Baba had his share, little share. He just tasted and returned his plate along with the plate, that food left over to us to be distributed as a prasad to every member of our family, of that family. And then 2 boxes of chocolates were sent. One was exclusively for my daughter, and the other was to be distributed, to be shared with all the people. Such occasions, at such occasions, Eraj was very helpful to us. But this is a rare quality. In spite of the fact that he was so close to Baba, he never will take an authority to say yes or no to anyone.
SBI అది తర్వాత ప్రాపర్టీ ట్యాక్స్.
Hello?
No.
Hello?
I just muted, so he was on unmute. No, Pratap uncle, you can continue.
Yes. So there is another quality which I have noticed in Eraj. Now, as we know that Eraj was the interpreter whenever any outsider comes. Few people were there among Baba's mandali who used to read fluently Baba's gestures or Baba's early times, Baba's alphabet board, thereafter Baba's gestures. Mandali used to understand that quite fairly well. Mani was expert in understanding Baba's gestures, and Eraj was, of course, we know he understood Baba's gestures very fluently he will fluently interpret. Lately, I just read one beautiful observation somebody has given, that while interpreting, the ARH is to understand what Baba wants to say, and he will put that in his own words. In ARH will put it in his own words. And if Baba disagrees with what ARH interprets, then he will insist for that. He will, on his fingers, he will spell out that word, and then ARH will utter that word. This was the usual arrangement in communication. Now, so many times, some cases used to come before Baba, very cases of their private lives, not to be disclosed to other people. That matter was to be only told to Baba, and Baba would discuss it with that person to person, and ARH will be the interpreter, of course. At such times, whenever ARH used to interpret, he used to get the whole case of that person. He used to know the whole case of that person because he was the interpreter. He used to interpret whatever Baba wants to tell to that person, and that person narrating his own case, ARH will be there to listen to that, and Baba's reply he will interpret to that person. So ARH knew so many things, so many private things about the lives of so many people. These cases used to come before Baba, and Baba used to guide him, or whatever way Baba likes. But after coming out from Mandari Hall, ARH will never discuss that with any other. That was very special quality ARH had. He will never repeat that thing before any people. He will not publicize that. And he will not have even ill feelings about that person. But a quality, a very notable quality ARH had. And I have several times observed this. When Baba dropped his body, just before that, we, Pune Bhajan Mandali, we were so very attached with Baba that in spite of the fact that Baba coming to Pune, he won't see anybody, but in spite of the fact that we were satisfied with the very presence of Baba in Pune. And moreover, we were also satisfied with Baba's presence in Meralrat. We may be able to see him or not, but Baba is there. That itself was enough for us to live in our life. And when Baba dropped his body, it was a horrible time for us, all of us. We had just collapsed, mentally collapsed. And immediately after I got that information, all along with my children, 3 children, 4th were not born then. With my 3 children, one of them, my eldest son, Prashant, was very sick. But in that condition, I just went to Mehrabad. And I remember, I just see that scene. ARH was sitting near that pit where Baba's body was kept. His head was down, hanging like that. And When he, from a distance, we saw me, he got up and came practically running to me and embraced me so tightly. And I was uncontrollably weeping. And Erich could understand the grief which I was containing in my heart. It was a very difficult time, and Erich is trying to convince me. What he says is, Pratap, have you gone mad? Baba has not gone anywhere. He is eternally with us. His being is Shashwat. Shashwat means eternal. See, it is eternally with us. He has not gone anywhere. Why you weep like this? And while consoling me with those words, he himself cannot hold his tears. That was very tough and very difficult time for us when I met Erich there, when Erich met me there on the hill. Thereafter, we started these Baba's birthdays, celebration of birthdays and Amar Tithi. That started after even Baba's time. There never used to be sort of a birthday function. It was not like that. At a certain times, Baba would ask, people will just greet Baba on by sending letters and all that, but no celebration of. Even though the some centers were there, they were not holding any celebration of Baba's birthday. Baba's birthday were celebrated on large scale only after Baba dropped his body. Of course, Amar Tithi, we know. After Baba dropped his body, I used to visit Meraga once in a month or once in 2 months, just to meet with these people and just to be there with Erich and Mani and so all the Mandali people. On such occasion, I used to have personal conversation with Erich. So about that birthday, on one birthday, one or maybe 2 birthdays, Baba had not allowed anyone to write a letter. If at all anybody has to greet Baba, it should be in a form of a telegram only. If you want to greet Baba, you should send a telegram. And that was the restriction which Baba had put on us. And I was just, we Pune people, Pune Bhajan Mandali, we were thinking now Baba has put these restrictions. We are not able to communicate also. If at all we have to send a telegram. But that time, that particular year, I had composed 4 lines, poetic lines in English. And telegraphically, I sent it in 2 minutes. I had included Madhu's name also. That composition I would like to repeat here. The composition, English composition was, thou art the source of creation. Thou art the source of creation. Thou art the goal, thou art the source when the creation emerges. Thou art the source when the creation emerges. Thou art the goal where the creation merges. Thou art the goal where the creation merges. In the duality of birth and death, my soul urges to greet thee, the reality in images. These 4 lines were sent by telegraphically to Baba, and perhaps Baba must have liked it because after a couple of months, when Eric was in Bindra house on some work, and our Narendra Thadi, one of our group singer of our group, he accidentally made Eraj, and Eraj specifically told him that tell Pratap that Baba has liked that poetic lines very much, and he has asked me to send it for printing in the magazine was published every month, that is Divyavani, and it has come in Divyavani also. Now that was the occasion when I had sent that telegram to Baba. But then when on one occasion when I visited Mehrazad, it was some festival about Jesus Christ, and I had composed one song for a drama that I will explain afterwards next time. But that I had composed one drama in which there was a song on Jesus Christ, and since it was the occasion of some festival concerning to Jesus Christ, I sang that song before Eraj. And what Eraj reacted to that, I will tell you afterward. But that song I will sing first, along with my grandson, who is sitting very close to me. He will be the main singer, and I will just accompany him. Yes.
Jai Baba.
Jai Baba, Advait.
प्रभु नाम तेरो सुखदायक रे, तेरो रूप श्रम परिहार करे, तू ही सकल भवताप हरे, यीशु प्रभु पिता, यीशु प्रभु पिता। प्रभु नाम तेरो सुखदायक रे, तेरो रूप श्रम परिहार करे, तू ही सकल भवताप हरे, यीशु प्रभु पिता, यीशु प्रभु पिता। तो वरदान प्रभु जी हम न तुमको भूले, दो ऐसा वरदान प्रभु जी हम न तुमको भूले, सुख में दुख में याद तुम्हारी अपने ही में घोले, सुख में दुख में याद तुम्हारी अपने ही में घोले, तारण हारन हाथ तुम्हारे, तारण हारन हाथ तुम्हारे, तुम ही दीनानाथ रे, प्रभु नाम तेरो सुखदायक रे, तेरो रूप श्रम परिहार करे, तू ही सकल यीशु प्रभु पिता, यीशु प्रभु पिता, पापी जनों को तुमने संवारा, देकर अपनी काया। पापी जनों को तुमने संवारा, देकर अपनी काया। सूली ऊपर देह बिछाए, अपना खून बहाया। सूली ऊपर देह बिछाए, अपना खून बहाया। ओ जगहित कारण कष्ट सहे सब, जगहित कारण कष्ट सहे सब, तुम ही एक सहाय करे। प्रभु नाम तेरो सुखदाय करे, तेरो रूप श्रम परिहार करे। तू ही सकल भवताप हरे, यीशु प्रभु पिता, यीशु प्रभु पिता।
After listening to the song, Eraj had become a little bit emotional, and he said to me, Pratap, do you know that I have studied in convent school in Nagpur, and I had read Bible, also incident from Jesus Christ's life, and I was really very much attracted towards the events in Jesus' life. And then asked me whether who has composed the song. I said I have composed the song, and he liked it very much. I have just thought of singing this today because we are talking about Eraj. Now I just forgot to give you the meaning of that song. I will just read, and then we will have today's function, today's session will conclude it. प्रभु नाम तेरो सुखदाय रे, दुख सुखदाय करे, तेरो रूप श्रम परिहार करे। तू ही सकल भवताप हरे, यीशु प्रभु पिता। O Lord Jesus, thy name is blissful and source of happiness. A look of thy face is soothing and relieving us from our heart struggles. Thou art the savior of our worldly cares. O Jesus, the divine Father. दो ऐसा वरदान प्रभु जी, हम ना तुझको भूले। सुख में दुख में याद तुम्हारी, अपने ही हमें घोले। तारण हारण हाथ तुम्हारे, तुम ही दीना नाथ रे, तेरो नाम प्रभु सुखदाय करे। O Lord, bless us with a boon that we never forget thee. Both in happiness and misery, we keep on remembering thee in our hearts always. Freeing and binding us, both are in thy hands. Thou art the protector of all the helpless and the poor. O Jesus, our dear Father. पापी जनों को तुमने सवारा देकर अपनी काया, सूली ऊपर देह बिछा के अपना खून बहाया, जगहित कारण कष्ट है सब, तू ही साचो सहाय करे. Erich was very much attracted to this stanza. It says, for helping sinners to get rid of their sins, thou hast sacrificed thy life. Thou hast allowed thy body to be hanged on the cross and shed thy blood. For humanity's welfare, thou hast taken upon thyself all the suffering, O Jesus, my divine Father. This is the song which I had sung then, and because of the last stanza, Erich had become little emotional. Now more about Erich the next Friday. I have still many things to tell about Erich. That, in fact, while narrating some of the stories, all that stories in my mind, they crowd up in my head, and it becomes very difficult for me to choose and pick and choose. But then I hope you will not mind my mixing up the several issues in one topic and one lecture. And if they are, I mean, different subjects taken together, different thoughts taken together, I hope you won't mind for that, because I am not a good speaker. Anyway, today we will conclude this session, and Jai Baba to all of you. If anyone has anything to say, any question to ask, they may do it, please.
Anybody, any questions? Yeah, Sumer Chand is there. Sumer Chand Garu.
Kaka, Jai Mer Baba.
Jai Baba.
I
Yeah.
think that name you have forgotten is Yashwant Rao.
Sorry?
The name you have forgotten is Yashwant Rao.
Yes,
That
correct.
Upas-
Yeah, thank
yeah,
you.
Yashwant Rao.
Thank you.
On
Thank you so
17th
much.
October
Yes.
1941 at Daigaon.
Yeah,
And
Yashwant
secondly,
Upasni Maharaj's
incidentally,
disciple hai.
yeah,
Yes,
incidentally, today is the day, is the 3rd September 1945. One of the perfect masters, Narayan Maharaj, reunited in Baba.
Oh,
3rd September, yeah. And tomorrow is your Adike Irani's birthday.
Adi
One-
Adi Kiran.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And next week you also should say about your meeting at Baba at that is called at place on 12th September at I've forgotten the park at Ahmednagar.
Wadia Park. Wadia Park.
Wadia Park. Yeah, Wadia Park. Next time
Wadia
you-
Park.
Yeah, that is on 12th September 1954. We want to extract many things from you, Kaka.
Oh, thank you.
Jai Meher Baba.
Just pray, Baba.
Yeah.
Pray, Baba, that I should be able to share with all of you. You see, today I was just talking to Sam Patel in Mumbai. He also wants me to share something that I have with people in Bombay on Thursdays. So yes. I do not know how much my physical capacity can make me possible to attend to all these programs. But then this is my commitment to circle of friends that I will complete it. My intention is my intention, my sincere intention is that I should be able to tell some such incidents in my life with Baba Mandali, that will create a feeling in your hearts. You will feel that if I am able to convey that feeling up to you, that purpose will be fulfilled. My purpose of all these talks will be fulfilled. That is my sincere feeling. I don't want to boast that I know much about all these people, but then whatever I know, whatever I have learned from these great people, I want to share with you so that you can enjoy that time which we had with those people.
In fact, Kaka always tell that whatever in the books we can read, whatever you say is most of them are not in the book. So that's the reason we are thankful to Circle of Family Friends, Meher Baba Family Friends, Circle of Family Friends,
Baba
was
Zoom meeting.
recording and they are keeping as a treasures to pass on to the next generation. We all should thankful to them. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Jai Jai Baba. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, anybody else?
Ganesh.
Anybody?
Ganesh.
Yes, Pratap Kaka.
Thank you, Pratap. We were waiting for you to come back, Pratap.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai
Please,
Baba.
please.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
Let us thank
Wonderful
Baba for
idea.
all his. Ganesh,
Yes, Kaka. Yes, Pratap.
you
Yeah.
have to say Avtar
Yeah.
Meher Baba ki jai.
Yes,
Until
I'm
that
just
time,
waiting if anybody, no, I don't think so anybody has any other questions. So we will conclude with 3 times Avtar Meher Baba ki jai. Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Jai.
Avtar Meher
Baba
Ki
ki
jai.
jai.
Avtar Meher
Avatar
Baba
Meher
ki
Baba
jai.
ki
Jai.
jai.
Jai
And
Baba.
thank you, Pratap uncle, for this evening. It was wonderful what you shared. So not much of it is recorded. So this is something you shared is a treasure for us. And in fact, you are an excellent speaker. I don't know why you said that you're not a good speaker, but you are an excellent speaker. And I'm sure everybody will agree on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
You're a great speaker, Pratap ji. Keep talking.
Jai Baba. Jai Baba.
Jai
Jai
Baba.
Baba.
so Prakash, tomorrow the session starts at 8:30 p.m., right?
Yeah,
8:30.
8:30. Yeah.
8:30
So
for India time.
about 10
Ganesh.
minutes initially we might need 10 to 12 minutes, and after that Pratap ji can immediately start whenever he is free.
Okay.
Because 8:30 we will be having, up to 8:30 we will be having our central program.
Okay.
And thereafter about 10 minutes in between, I will have my own time, and then anytime you want me, I will come and talk. I'll be prepared for thereafter.
Pratap ji, you can join whenever you feel like. I mean, there is no such timing thing. So, agar aapko you need a little more time, 20 minutes after the program ends at 8:30 there, you can join at 9 or a little before, whenever you want. I mean,
Oh yes, thank you.
yeah. So
So
no,
I will join at 9 o'clock.
yeah, no, that would
And
be great. Yeah.
yes, please. And मजेदार बात ये है कि आदि काका के साथ में
Mhm.
हमारे जो समय गुजरा है वो उसमें उतनी यादगारी नहीं जितनी एरेज के साथ नहीं है.
हाँ, वो तो है.
बट जो है वो डेफिनेटली वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग है.
Yeah.
जो है वो इंटरेस्टिंग है ये.
No, for the benefit of everybody, Pratap Uncle just said that the contact he had with Rich is much more as compared to Adi Kairani, but he has definitely some interesting stories to share. So yeah, that's what he said.
So yes, tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
Kaka,
Yeah.
I want you to sing also that Yaar ke marzi ke tabe. I know that you said Meher Baba Kutiba Alam in group. So tomorrow there won't be a group. So at least individually, but the benefit of all Baba lovers, you should sing Yaar ke marzi ke tabe.
Yeah, Pratap, yeah. You've
Yes.
shared so much about Adi, yeah.
Yes.
Adi he loved singing those things. He loved that. Yeah. He was on fire with those songs.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
yes,
Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah,
That is what I'm going to talk tomorrow. How we had
good.
dealings with Adi Kairani.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you.
every one of these Monday, early Monday, they were special people. Everyone was.
Yeah.
That is true.
I consider myself so very fortunate that I could have a close relation with all these people.
Mm.
It is my good fortune that I could have so closeness with all these people. Everyone. May it be Erech, may it be Aga Baitul, may it be Kakawari and Gustaji and everyone.
Gandhi.
100%.
Sure.
So Jai Baba for tonight.
Jai Baba. Pratap.
Thank you so much, Pratap Uncle.
Avtar Meher Baba ki jai.
Jai.
And thanks, Ganesh, for setting this up.
Nothing to really thank me.
Jai Baba.
Ganesh.
Yeah,
Ganesh.
Yes.
Ganesh,
Yes,
I have a question. I have a question. Can you hear
Sure.
me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Someone had advertisement up on the screen.
Hmm.
It was advertisement. I didn't appreciate that. I don't know why.
What was that advertisement?
I didn't recognize. I didn't write it down because I'm too absorbed hearing Pratap. But then I noticed it kept coming up. The whole screen was filled with the contact, and I don't know. It didn't feel good. And the person appeared, and I didn't take his name down. There was no reason that I can see that would be there. Anyway.
I think it might be the message recording in progress. That's an automated message.
No,
No?
it was not. It
Mhm.
was someone's personal thing. That's why I'm telling you, because I saw it and I thought, what is that up there for?
I'm not sure. Did anybody get an advertisement?
I didn't see anything, but I wasn't looking at the screen the whole time. But
That's right. I was looking the whole time.
I didn't know.
Anyway, I'm saying it because I saw it. It didn't feel welcome.
So you saw it in one of the boxes? I mean,
Yes, I saw it in one
I
of the
see.
boxes.
I see.
Yeah,
I see.
but I'm so absorbed with hearing Pratap. I don't want to write things down, unless I'm tuned in to what he's saying. But I'm just putting that out because,
Yeah.
Don't forget to stop recording, Ganesh.
Yes, I'm going to stop right now.
All right. Jai Baba, everybody.
Jai Baba, everybody. Jai Baba. Thanks, everybody. Thanks.